Man, it's been a minute since I've been in. I had to take a break, but I got a special guest in the studio today, man. I'm in here with Chauncey Maynor, bro. What's up?
How you doing, man? I'm blessed, man.
Man, that's good. How you been doing?
Man, just really just making it through this whole pandemic. Everything's starting to clear out. A lot of things are opening up, like music-wise, like venues, just music in general. And I'm just happy to accomplish so much during the pandemic and even after it.
Man, that's what's up. Hey, but I know you tagged me in the good news, bro. I was excited to talk about it. I had to get the little intro in first, but you tagged me and you stated that you got nominated for the best R&B album in San Diego for the San Diego what is it, the Music Awards?
Yeah,
How you feeling about that?
man, I feel amazing, man. I feel it's long overdue. I'm finally getting the acknowledgement that I deserve, and it feels good. It feels good to get the response from people. And once you tell them the news, and it's like, man, like nominated. That's the big thing to me.
Bro, that's a big step. I mean, I've been watching you for a minute doing music, and even with the Neo Soul Tuesdays when you used to come out and sing, man, I once I saw you singing, I started following who you were in your music at that time. So I was like, okay, because I don't know anybody in San Diego who does a lot of R&B or just soulful music. I mean, during those times you find a few people for on Neo Soul Tuesdays, but a lot of people just doing a lot of poetry. But so as far as like if you win, well, I'm gonna say when you win this shit, you know what I mean? Like what is gonna be your next step? Or is this just gonna be the accolade that just makes you feel like, okay, I made it? Or like what else are you looking for in order in as far as influence or getting more followers or more people interested in your music?
I definitely would look at it as an accolade, but I also would look at it as a validation, not from me, but from the city. Because before this award, people know me in the town, know me in the city of San Diego, but this kind of just makes it official that Chauncey Maynor is highlighted as an artist and as a piece, as a body of work. Because the R&B category is based off my project. It's a vibe. That's what's being nominated in that category for best, of course, best R&B album. So it's a validation from the city that pretty much confirms like he has arrived. I already know that I've arrived, but the city now knows that I've arrived. You know what I mean?
Man, I feel you, man. So I've been working with you for I say about a year now. We've been talking about actually we talked about working like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and we
Yeah.
just never had the time to get in and actually work. Our schedules just never linked up to work. But I'm excited that I was able to work with you on a couple of your videos, and then just seeing those videos, the songs that are on your album, just seeing those videos and just being part of that process and you getting nominated just makes me feel like, yo, I linked up with somebody who had great work ethic and was just able to just, put their heart in their music. As far as like, what else do you have in store for us when it comes to music though? I'm really excited because I want to shoot.
um, I have an EP it's already finished, it's already mixed, mastered, ready to go. Just kind of strategizing how I want to, approach it to the world. But I do want to work on, future projects, man. Nothing in store right yet, but just this EP I'm gonna be presenting. But there are definitely things in the future. I just haven't really wrapped my head around what I want to do yet. But I can't wait for you to hear this EP though.
Bro, you got to send me the link so I can hear it before everybody else does.
Oh yeah,
You got
yeah,
to send me the
definitely,
link,
man.
bro. So, what else are you kind of interested in? I know we talked about a documentary, but are you interested in taking your music in just like leveling up to doing like actual films now? Are you trying to broaden or expand your creativity?
Yeah, I always think about expanding my creativity. You know what I mean? Definitely the documentary, like you said, just about me.
Right.
Just the journey and what it took for me to get from the beginning to the finish line. And and I still have a lot of work to do. But it's just showing people, that success is not an overnight thing, man. It's, and if it is, it's a very long night. You know what I mean? So it just shows the progression as a person, Chauncey the artist, and film definitely. I want to be behind the scenes a lot with with writing, because I'm really in depth with writing. So it's like whether it's music, whether it's music videos, being a part of that, and starting and doing film. So I got a lot of ideas. Nothing's finalized, but I got a lot of ideas, a lot of great ideas that I'm brainstorming on.
Yo, I'm just curious to see what you're gonna start creating, man. Because just seeing from from when I first met you and just seeing the growth, just the level of growth is just astonishing when you see someone who's like, hey, I'm gonna put all my time, all my energy, all my money, and everything that I got, I'm gonna put it into this, and I'm just gonna go for it. And then whatever happens, just happens. Just seeing someone just be that dedicated and something that they love so much and just seeing the growth in it is it just makes you feel it kind of encourages you or just gives you that notion like, hey, like if he can do it, I can do it. I just know it's just not gonna happen overnight. But I'm watching you go through everything you go through, just trying to get where you going. It's just like, it's gonna pay off because like you're gonna be like, I went through X, Y, and Z, and I struggled and I struggled and I struggled. And when I finally got to where I was at, then it's like you can take that deep breath and be like, it was all worth it. Just
It's crazy because I get what I get from a lot of other artists. That I'm an inspiration to them on so many levels. You know what I mean? Whether it's personal, whether it's music. And I've always been that person that's been outspoken, never afraid to express my feelings, whether it's in music or on social media. And a lot of people take it differently. A lot of people take it as an inspiration. They see, wow, this dude's very vulnerable. Don't give two shits about speaking his mind on social media,
right.
and sometimes that might set you apart from other people. A lot of people might put this facade of like certain lifestyle they put on social media, like on Instagram, and it's all good, you know what I mean? But they're
In
only
real
showing you what they
life,
want you to see, you know what I'm
yeah, in real
saying? But
life,
I
they
don't
really
care. I
hurt.
want to show people the good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
So depending on what mood or feeling I'm in, I'll portray, I'll put it in my music, or I put it for people to see or to read. So what I'm saying, like I made a post today, and it was inspiring to some people. You know what I mean? Because I was just pretty much explaining like you know, my process and my growth within the past 2 years. You know what I mean? It went from, not so much of a light place to, from a dark place to something that excelled to something that's in light. And it's also in positivity. And it showed in this project and it survived. That's where all that energy came from to make that project. You know what I'm saying? It came from a dark spot, but it highlighted in something that was positive. And when
Okay.
people listen to that album, I get people that get inspired. There's people that got certain songs on that project on their playlist. Some people, there may be a particular song they listen to every time they get up in the morning. Man, you know what? Hey man, benediction, man,
That has to feel good,
yeah,
man.
hey
Like,
man, I play this every Sunday. Cause it's a gospel record. You know what I mean? So just hearing that from your peers and you're an artist to do what you do, that's inspiring, bro. Like it's impactful and it's inspiring to me. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what gives me the fuel to keep going. You know what I mean? Everybody that's in my circle that want to see me win, that's what keeps me going.
so like, so what makes you I could say what makes you actually do music. So is it like just like when you make music and it's impactful to someone's life? Or is it just you do it because you love it or you wanting to make a change in people? Or if someone's having going through something, your music changes their vibe. It gives them something to look forward to. If I'm having, like you said, if I'm having a real down day and I can listen to your music and then it uplifts me, does that make you feel, like your music's worth it more than anything? Or is it just one of those, I love it. It doesn't matter if I'm gonna make an impact or not. I'm just gonna do music. Like, what is your reward that you would like to get from your music?
I mean,
Outside of money and fame. Like outside of
well,
that.
I mean, I mean, when I think about it, it's like when I start doing music, I don't really know what direction. I don't know what impact that music's gonna make. You know, I am in it for the creative process. You know what I mean? and I'm doing it off of how I feel or how I'm feeling at a particular time. But I don't know how hard that impact on my music is gonna make on a person's life. I have no idea. Like I'm inspired to make the art. You know what I mean? That's my gift, and that's my job to give to to give something to people so they can resonate with it. You know what I mean? But when I do find out how it impacts them, it can be a shocker. You know what I mean? Because that wasn't really initially that wasn't really my
Your goal?
plan. It was
Okay.
just I got this concept in my head. I got this song I want to write out and I want to record. And I just I do what I do. But what people take away from it, what I mean, it's different. Everybody their takeaway is different. You know what I mean? So it's like um I love music. Love music to death, man. It's a part of me. It's in my heart. It's a passion. And I couldn't see myself doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like that music gives me joy. It gives me purpose. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do it, for clout. A lot of people do it because, it's a popularity propaganda. But for me, it's like it's just art. You know what I mean?
So like I don't think I've ever asked you this as long as I've known you. Who are your musical influences?
Oh man. Um, I mean, I like a little bit of everything, man. I mean, depending on my mood. So it's I would have to say my top is Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is my top. Um, Music Soul Child. Um, it's a hard one. uh, Music Soul Child. Donny Hathaway.
Okay, okay.
When we talk about hip hop, Nas, that's the top. Nas is the top. Common, love Common. I live Lupe Fiasco. Um, Most Def, The Roots. I mean,
Yeah,
the list goes on. I'm
you
more
got
of
a
a
lot.
conscious
Yeah.
individual, so I listen to music that actually talks about something and actually not. I wouldn't say necessarily relate to, but it just got that real authenticity, man. It's raw. It's raw talent. That's why I'm not really into the no disrespect for the new generation, the new
Right.
millennium, but I'm just in tune with the old school, the old
I
vibe.
feel you. Like I listen to a lot of music. I mean, the new stuff is that's like if we go out, like I'll hear that to party. But like if I'm really trying to think, you know what I mean, or I'm just trying to just sit and chill, it's certain music that I'm gonna listen to. Like my favorite artist is J. Cole. You know what I mean? And because there's things that he talks about that I can really relate to. So, I think all music is just all relation. Like, the new kids, listen to the new music and they relate with that because that's just their life. That's everything is social media. So that's important to them. So that's probably why it catches on so fast for them. And then when it comes to, like people like Kendrick, J. Cole, Nas, Jay-Z, people like that, then it's like, there's some things that they talk about that, I can relate with, especially when it just comes to life and just life struggles and, just dealing with like just like depression and things like that. Like that all makes sense, you know. But let's say what is the hardest thing about being an artist? If I say what's the hardest thing for you when it's being an artist, when it's trying to get more people to or just trying to um let's say just be seen by more people or get your own exposure to more people. What's the hardest part about that?
I mean, everybody has a particular goal. You know what I mean? It all depends on what you're doing music for. If you're doing it for the passion, the love, then everything will position itself to fall into place. But if you're just doing it because you just want to get, you know, 50 million streams or 30 million streams or trying to get if that or close to that, if that is your goal, then that's a totally different goal aside from music. That's more of a marketing
Right.
strategy. Doesn't have nothing to do with music. You know what I mean? So you got to do it because you love it, man. And if you really have faith not only just in your craft and you as an artist, but you just have faith, period. You just gotta have strong faith and just keep doing what you do and be consistent. The more consistent you are, the more people see you. The more active you are, the more people are going to see you. You know what I mean? If that is your goal. So
That's
I guess
absolutely true.
everybody has their own, mission. You know what I mean? My mission is just I love music. I used to pay attention to that, streams and views and everything like that and followers. But I mean, in reality, man, it's you know if you're talking about organic, that comes in time. But you like again being consistent. You know what I mean? You gotta be consistent. You gotta keep pushing stuff out. And you gotta put yourself in positions where more people can see you. Whether that's, obviously like shows, doing events and stuff like that, get more out there. Because there's more to do than just, sit behind Instagram or Twitter. You gotta be doing all the above to reach the masses. You can't just, you know, be on TikTok
All day long.
all day long, and you know what I mean. That's your only avenue. You know what I mean. Like you gotta
You gotta
you
be in
gotta
the
be out there performing in front of folks, bro. You know
right
what I
place,
mean?
right time to get seen on TikTok.
Yeah,
That's I mean, but you be surprised. A lot of records get broken on there
they
though.
do. They do.
So I always just wondered, man, like, what does it actually take to be successful? I mean, I know success is, it's objective, subjective, however you want to say it, but it's not. It's definitely everybody has a different definition of success. Like,
That facts. That's that right there. Everybody has a different definition of success.
and it varies
Yeah,
though. I
it
mean,
does.
you could tell like when I
You can
talk to a
have.
lot of artists, everybody. I think if you I mean, even if you just doing shows and you overseas and you making 50K a show and you're doing a 40 city tour, like that's successful to me, bro.
It
Like
is.
I would care less if I was mainstream and I was top 40 all the time and like I'm getting a bag. Like who
Yeah.
cares about, but then you got people, but then you look at, if you put it in the sports analogy, it's like, you making all that money being in the NBA, but a lot of those cats want to win a ring. And not having that ring is, even though I'm making this money, I didn't accomplish what I came to the NBA to do because I want to be a champion. So, but I guess it's just different for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like as simple as somebody that does shows around a certain bars downtown. They do like 3 bars a night, and they get in the bag, perform those particular bars, and they're satisfied with that,
Right.
and that's success to them. You know what I mean? Or you got musicians that play from church to playing gigs, background singers, and they're like you said, they're on a tour. They're on a 50 city tour, and you're playing for a mainstream artist or underground artist. But the fact is, they're getting paid for their talent. They're getting paid for their
As
craft.
long as
So
you're getting paid for
as
your
long as you're getting
craft.
paid for that is success to me, because it's a living. You're doing it for a living, and it's not just like a fantasy. It's like real life. You know what I mean? So, but as far as like the ones that want to be like, oh yeah, man, I'm trying to get like all the views and all the streams. That's cool, bro. But you think about somebody who got like 1 million streams, right? Out of 1 million people, how many of those 1 million people do you really think are actually listening to your music? Out of 1 million people, out of 30 million streams. I'm sorry, at 30 million followers, how many of those followers do you think are actually listening to your music out of 30 million?
I don't think I mean, without going through analytics, you probably don't really know. Like, you
You know what I
probably don't
mean? We
know,
don't we
man.
don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, it shows. Like, let's say if you got 30 million followers, and let's say you do a show, right?
Right?
And
30 million people ain't finna show up.
you might get maybe 50, 100 people show up out of 30 million followers.
Yeah. Not unless you mainstream,
That's what
maybe.
I'm saying. You know what I mean?
But
So you shouldn't focus on numbers, man. Just focus on the art, and just stay true to who you are, and just make art, man, and everything else fall in place.
and I hear that, man.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to do the same thing, man. Just trying to just, when it comes to film, And, being a cinematographer and a colorist, man, is just trying to build that clientele and trying to just build that rapport with people and then get more contracts. I ain't gonna keep you though, but tell us how we can vote for. I know there's gonna be for so you got nominated for the album, best R&B album in San Diego, but I know there's gonna be a point where everybody's gonna be able to vote for you. How do we vote?
Well, the voting process starts on May 15th at 5 p.m. and it goes till June 30th and ends at 5 p.m. So that's the time. That's the time range for the voting. And to vote, you go on to the San Diego Music Awards.com. I mean the website, San Diego Music
Okay.
Awards, and they have a link that you will vote for whoever artist that that you're trying to vote for, and whatever category they're in. So if it's hip hop or it's R&B or it's rock, pop, whoever that person is, you could
Okay, bet.
vote.
We're gonna link up, and then you could just send me the links and stuff, and I'll put them and embed them on this video. So when people watch or whatever, they can go in and we'll give them a link directly to you, so they can vote specifically for you, and they won't have to go through a bunch of pages, or drop down menus to find you. We will get Chauncey's actual his personal link to vote specifically for him, and we will get that out to you as soon as possible. I do want to appreciate you for, just let you know I appreciate you for even coming in and sitting down and talking with me, giving us a little bit of insight about you. We're going to do more of these because there's a lot of other topics I want to talk about outside of just music. So this podcast is going to be a lot. It's going to be basically just about our culture, you know what I mean, and everything that's going on with us. Well, and then going into, featured artists and things like that, and whatever, you may have new coming up, because I know you got a new EP coming out, and definitely when you drop that, I'm definitely going to be promoting that for you. But just also want to say I appreciate the fact that you hit me up and I was able to shoot 3 of your videos off your album that got nominated. When I heard that, I was like, nigga, I was like, we live.
Yeah,
I was like, we live. So
yeah, I mean, Black Skin, Fashion Nova, and Black Mona Lisa. That's three off the project. You know what I mean? And they're all unique songs in their own way.
Yes, they
you know
are.
What I mean? They all have unique vibes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for you to be a part of it. You know what I mean? And just to work with just like-minded people, bro. Positive energy, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Positive affirmation is everything, man. And I think that's so much of what we need, especially right now. You know what I mean? With all the stuff going on, that's well needed, not just in life, but just in music and your everyday life. So,
like you said, giving people inspiration.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So if I can give inspiration through my music, then my job is done. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that.
You know what I mean? So, but I look forward to coming out with more stuff. I got a lot of stuff, man. I got a lot of ideas, like I said. Some of the stuff not in the works, some stuff on paper. Just thoughts, but they're gonna be reality at some point. You know what I mean?
It always happens. You always hit me up and be like, man, I got some ideas, but it ain't here yet. And then it'd be like 3 weeks later, did you send me 5 or 6 songs? I'd be like, I thought you said this wasn't done yet.
Yeah.
So, but yo, we ain't gonna keep y'all, man. Thanks for coming in again, and we'll be back real shortly. All right.
Peace.